Welcome to the Noble Honorable. It's a story time. We are going to talk on the tales of the past. Today, we have the man. He was the greatest man ever happened. His name is Che Guevara. He knew he was going to die, so he sat down and wrote his children a letter and asked them to live for something bigger than themselves. Here we go. In 1965, Ernesto Che Guevara sat down and wrote a letter he hoped his children would never have to read. He was 37 years old. He was preparing to leave Cuba, to disappear from public life and travel to Africa, then eventually to Bolivia, to continue the revolutionary struggle he believed was the only honest use of his life. He knew the odds. He had faced them before and survived this. This time, he suspected would be different, so he wrote. To Fidel Castro, he wrote a political farewell. To his parents, he wrote with tenderness of son who had spent years away from home. And to his children, Hilda, Areida, Camilo, Celia, and Ernesto, he wrote something that parents across generations have understood. The impossible task of saying everything that matters in the space that remains. Know that your father was a man who acted according to what he believed in, he wrote, and there is no doubt about his sincerity and loyalty to his convictions. He asked them to study hard, to read deeply, to always be ready to stand against injustice wherever it appeared. Whoever was suffering it, he asked them to become people of conviction, not comfort. Above all, always be ready to rise up against injustice anywhere in the world, regardless of who is being oppressed. He signed it. Your father Ernesto. 2 years later, on October 9, 1967, Che Guevara was captured and executed by Bolivian forces in the village of La Higuera. He was 39 years old. His children received the letter. History has never agreed on what to make of him. 2 million across Latin America, Africa, and beyond, he remained a symbol of resistance. The man who walked away from a comfortable life as a physician to fight alongside the poor and the suspected, who asked nothing for himself, who died as he had lived. Two others, particularly the families of those executed under his authority at La Cabana prison after Cuban Revolution, he is remembered very differently. As a man who ordered deaths without hesitation, he believed that revolutionary ends justified the harshest means. His legacy is not simple, and anyone who tells you it is has to not look at it honestly. What is beyond dispute is this. He was a man of absolute conviction who acted entirely on what he believed and paid for it with everything. And in the last hours before he disappeared into a war, he would not survive. He thought of his children. He thought of what he wanted them to carry forward. Not wealth, not his image, not his fame. Study and read diligently, he wrote. Remember that an individual has no value on his own. Stand for something, run everything you can, never be indifferent to suffering. Whether you admire him or condemn him, whether his name means freedom or authority to you, the letter itself asks a question that outlasts the man who wrote it. What do we want to pass on to the people who come after us? What is worth sacrificing for? And when we are gone, what will remain of us beyond what we loved and what we stood for? Ernesto Che Guevara left his children a letter. He asked them to live with purpose, whether the world that letter points toward was worth the cost. This is a question a history is still answering. He could have been a wealth doctor kicking back in the litter, the cleaner, eating delicious food delivered by low-paid workers until he died of old age. But seeing hungry, exploited people who could not afford to feed their own children, he could never turn his back on. He was not executed by the Bolivia forces, but American Rangers who actually captured him. A true revolutionary, the path in which he told his children to lead and study hard, to live their lives with purpose, not conform, is timeless. He left his children, his people, and revolutionaries the world over a rich legacy. He sacrificed his luxurious life, was a medical doctor, for the revolution that will change exploration and oppression of the masses. A true, real Cuban hero. Salute. Thank you. I hope you will subscribe, share, and leave the comment. That was your guy, Che Guevara. Thank you.